Hello and welcome. Welcome to the VIP program. Don't miss speaking English fluently. Don't miss the chance to speak English powerfully, to speak persuasively. But more than that, don't miss the chance to live the life that you dream, the life that you want, the lifestyle you want in terms of money and work, of course, the kind of relationships and family you want, the feelings you want to feel usually, a happy life. Respect, having the respect of those you work with, of those you are friends with, of those around you. You can train to get these things. There's still time. It doesn't matter your age. We have VIP members of all different ages, very young to old. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in your teens or if you're in your 80s and 90s. It doesn't matter. As long as you are alive, you still have time. Don't miss the chance to get these things that you want. Now, in the VIP program, you will train to speak English fluently and powerfully and persuasively. Every day, you're going to listen to all of the audios in the lesson unit. You're going to do this daily. This will be about an hour, possibly an hour and a half a day. I recommend 2 hours a day if you have the time. Daily training. Listening. Repetition is the mother of skill. So repetition is your friend. Repeat the same lesson every day for 10 days. This one you're going to repeat for 10 days to 14 days or more if you want to. You're going to get more than English. You'll notice you're going to get more than just English training. You will learn to speak English powerfully when you stay in the VIP program. You need about 6 to 12 months at least. So commit, decide, focus. Put in the time every single day. You're also going to see that you'll learn a lot more than just English. You're going to learn a lot more that will help you live the life of your dreams, the life that you want, whatever that is. Now, in our first lesson here, we're going to listen to Mr. Tony Robbins, a great coach and motivational speaker and businessman. And I'm going to use what's called the movie technique. So I'm going to play little parts of this video. First, I'm going to play all of it. It's an interview. Then I'm going to go back, and then I'll pause after each sentence and explain what he's saying. And then in the commentary, I'll talk even more about the ideas. So let's go now to this interview with Mr. Tony Robbins. He's giving an interview about his life.
Priming. Every day, I say, look, you got to have 10 minutes for yourself. If you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. And I'm not going to hope I feel good. I just got back 6 countries in 12 days. I was in India 2 days ago.
Wow.
And I woke up here feeling like somebody ran me over with a truck.
But you got yourself psyched up.
But the way I did it is I do this process. And it's 10 minutes. I put some music on. I do this massive change in my breathing, so it radically changes the way I feel. And then I do this 3-step process. First, I do 3 minutes of gratitude, where I think of 3 things I'm really grateful for, and I associate. I don't think of it over there. I feel it. And the reason is, when you're grateful, you can't be worried. You can't be fearful. When you're grateful, you can't be angry. And anger and fear are what screw people up most in their relationships, in their life, in their business. So I wire myself. I was saying to you that most people want to be happy, but their habit is to be worried or pissed off or frustrated or stressed. And so they've got a highway to stress and they got a dirt road to happiness. So I wire myself. I've got a highway to gratitude, which changes all your emotions. And then I do 3-minute process of kind of a prayer for my family and friends, and then I do a 3-minute process of the top 3 things I want to accomplish. I see it as done, and I feel it. I'm done in 10 minutes. So sometimes I go 20. But my deal is 10, so there's no excuse not to do it.
You know what? I think it's a great way to kind of set the tone for the day.
It does. It changes. Listen, we've all had times when you snapped at somebody and you felt bad because it wasn't them, it was the state you're in, right? Well, there's no excuse for that. If you prime yourself, you set yourself up. They've done studies where they go to people and they have a man walk up to you and say, could you hold this for me? He hands you a cup of coffee. It's an actor. And then he takes something out of his pocket, then he takes it back and says, thank you. 100 people, they do it with iced coffee. 100 people do it with hot coffee. 45 minutes later, another actor comes by and says, listen, we're doing this little test. For $5, would you read this 3 paragraphs and answer 3 questions? Most people say yes. It's a little story. The questions are about the character. What's the character like? 80% of the people that got iced coffee say the person is cold and mean.
Wow.
81% of the people that got hot coffee say the person is warm and gentle or nice. That's how much we can be primed by our environment. We think we're just feeling what we're feeling, but our environment, if we don't take control of our environment, it takes control of us.
Pretty wild, Tony. Now, this is easy for you to say. Look at you. You're like an investment banker. You probably have a master's from Harvard. I bet you have 3 degrees from Harvard.
No, I got a high school education.
So what happened? You never went to college?
Well, my mom, I was going to USC. I wanted to be a sports. I was taking journalism. I was getting a scholarship. And then I had some major challenges with my family. I had to take care of them. And then my mom got very upset. I have 4 different fathers. So I kind of had to take over. And so I went and started my first business at 17, and I started from there. It was working for a man named Jim Rohn, and then I started off and became a seminar broker. I actually filled other people's seminar events. And then I got better than the people I was promoting, and after a while, I decided, heck, I should do my own. And then I began to just expand and do work. And when I started turning around athletes and Olympic athletes, and then I got to Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa,
wow.
and then I got to President Clinton, and it just grew.
What was Mother Teresa doing wrong before she met you? If anything, I mean, come on.
Did she ever have a day where she felt she got off on the wrong side of the bed?
No, you know what happened? She was in San Diego, and I don't know if you remember years ago, she got very ill, and they rushed her to the hospital. And I guess like 3 days into it, she left in the middle of the night. Can you imagine? You're at the hospital and you lose Mother Teresa.
No,
and she wrote a note that says, thank you for your help, but I have to help people that are in need. I can't sit here. And she went across the border to Mexico. And she said, if you really want to help, don't send me a hospital, send me a mobile medical unit. So in those days, I was friends with a very famous actor, and he and I were both fans of hers. And I said, why don't we just go buy this, you and I? Don't do a press conference. Just drive it across the border and let's give it to her. We'll get a chance to visit with her. And so anyway, bottom line, we did. And when I was with her, I said to her, you know, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and I always want to learn about people. So I'd say, listen, I'm wondering what juices you? What excites you? What makes you more excited than anything else? And I'm thinking juice you and none, maybe not the best term. And she looked and she said something I'll never forget. She said, Tony, she said, what excites me most is to see a person die with a smile on their face.
Wow.
I was like, wow, not number 1 on my list, but I'm impressed.
Right.
She's an amazing woman.
So, Tony, one of the critics, actually, that I once met said, yeah, Tony's techniques, they were great for about a year and a half, and then they wore off. What do you say to that, folks?
It's real simple. If you don't work out, you don't get a muscle, right? So I always tell people, there's a daily practice like priming. If you don't do that, if you get up and you just have no discipline whatsoever, you get no value of anything. You know, diets don't work when you don't do them. Exercise doesn't work when you don't do them. But most of the people have some experiences that they want to shift. And once you shift those things, your whole life changes. But life is constant growth. My life isn't here because I went to one seminar one time and now my life is fit for life. I work out, I train my mind, I train my body, and it becomes a lifestyle. It's not just like you're depending upon somebody else. I'm not here to become somebody's guru.
All right, let's stop there. Woo! Now, he can speak quite quickly, as you may have noticed. So if you did not understand some of that, if you did not understand a lot of it, don't worry. Nothing to get stressed about, nothing to get worried about. That's why I'm here. So let's go back to the beginning, and let's go through this more slowly. So now we're going to go just sentence by sentence, and I will play a sentence, and then I'll repeat it and explain it.
Every day, I say, look, you got to have 10 minutes for yourself. You don't.
Every day I say, you've got to, means you must, you've got to have 10 minutes for yourself. And then he says, if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. 10 minutes for yourself, right? It just means time for yourself alone, to take care of yourself, right? Without having to worry about anyone else, not kids, no one else. 10 minutes just to take care of yourself.
10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. And I'm not going to hope I feel good. I just got back 6 countries in 12 days.
He says, I'm not going to hope I feel good. I just got back from 6 countries in 12 days. So he's been traveling a lot internationally. So he's saying, I'm not going to hope that I feel good. In other words, he's going to make sure, he's going to guarantee that he feels good by doing something. He's going to choose to feel good. And he's going to tell us how.
I was in India 2 days ago.
Wow.
And I woke up here feeling like somebody ran me over with a truck.
He says, I was in India 2 days ago. Now he's in New York. So he said, I woke up feeling like someone ran over me with a truck. It's kind of an image, a metaphor, right? Feeling like he got hit by a truck. That's how, because he feels so tired when he woke up.
But you got yourself psyched up.
But the way I did it is I do this process. And
she said, but you got yourself psyched up. To get yourself psyched up means to get yourself excited. He got himself excited. And he says, yes, how I do this is I have a process. A process is like a system. He has a system, right, to make himself feel good.
it's 10 minutes. I put some music on. I do this massive change in my breathing.
So the first part, he says it's 10 minutes long. Every day he does this in the morning. The first part, he puts some music on, some, energetic, happy, fun music. And then he changes his breathing. He does deep breathing. So very kind of deep breathing. Some people call this yoga breathing because in yoga they have these breathing exercises. But so he does this deep breathing with some energetic music. That's the first part.
So it radically changes the way I feel.
It radically changes the way I feel. Radically means in a big way, in a huge way. It totally changes the way he feels, not just a little bit.
And then I do this 3-step process.
Then I do a 3-step process. After he gets the music going, he has 3 more steps.
First, I do 3 minutes of gratitude where I think of 3 things I'm really grateful for.
First, I do 3 minutes of gratitude where I think of 3 things I'm really grateful for. Right? So that's the first thing he does in the morning after he gets himself with the breathing and the music. He feels energized. Then he focuses on gratitude. So about 3 minutes, he thinks just, what am I grateful for in my life? What do I appreciate in my life? What's good in my life? Or who do I appreciate?
And I associate. I don't think of it over there. I feel it.
So he's saying, I associate it means I connect with it. I don't feel it over there. He means he doesn't imagine it like it's far away. He brings the feeling close, the feeling of gratitude, right? Of appreciation. He brings it inside him, so he really feels it strongly. He makes himself feel the gratitude, not just like this far away feeling, but a very close, powerful feeling, emotion.
And the reason is, when you're grateful, you can't be worried.
And the reason is when you are grateful, you cannot be worried. So he's saying, gratitude is the opposite of fear. When you're in the moment right now, when you're feeling very grateful and appreciative, you're not feeling afraid.
You can't be fearful. When you're grateful, you can't be angry.
When you're grateful, you can't be angry.
And anger and fear are what screw people up most.
And anger and fear are what screw people up most. Anger and fear are what screw people up most. Screw people up means cause problems for people. If you screw up, it means you make a mistake. Right? So if something screws people up, it makes mistakes in their life. It makes their life have problems.
In their relationships, in their life, in their business.
In their relationships, in their life, in their business. All these areas, when people get angry or fearful, that's when they do stupid things.
So I wire myself. I was saying to you that
I wire myself. To wire, this is kind of a slang a little bit. I wire myself means I program myself. I program myself like a computer. It's not accidental. He's programming his brain, his emotions every morning.
most people want to be happy, but their habit is to be worried or pissed off or frustrated.
So he's saying most people want to be happy. You want to be happy, but their habit is to be pissed off, which means angry. Pissed off is kind of a casual way to say angry. So they have a habit of being angry or fearful or whatever, worried.
Or stressed. And
Or
so
stressed.
they've got a highway to stress and they got a dirt road to happiness.
They've got a highway to stress, but a dirt road to happiness. So this is just another image, like we call a metaphor, right? Just comparing. Highway means it's very fast, a fast path, a fast road to feeling stress or unhappy. In a dirt road, you can imagine a dirt road. If a car's on a dirt road, it's very slow. So it's a slow path. It's difficult for them to feel happy, but very easy to feel stressed or angry or worried.
So I wire myself. I've got a highway to gratitude, which
Says, I wire myself again. I program myself to have a highway to gratitude so that I very easily feel gratitude because it's a habit. I do it every day, so I'm used to feeling grateful.
changes all your emotions. And then I do a 3-minute process of kind of a prayer for my family and friends. And
then his second part is I do a 3-minute process, another 3-minute system of doing a prayer for my family and friends. So he's praying to God for his family and for his friends to be happy, and which again is a kind of gratitude, right?
I do a 3-minute process of the top 3 things I want to accomplish.
And then the final part, the final 3 minutes, I do a 3-minute process of focusing on the 3 things I want to accomplish this day. So his 3 most important goals for the day, right? So he thinks, okay, what do I really want to accomplish today? The 3 most important things.
I see it as done.
And I see it as done. So he's like, I imagine that I have already finished those 3 important things.
And I feel it. I'm done in 10 minutes.
And I feel it, and I'm done in 10 minutes.
Sometimes I go 20. But my deal is 10, so there's no excuse not to do it.
So sometimes I go 20. Sometimes I go, meaning I do this for 20 minutes, because sometimes it feels so good, he does it longer. He says, but my deal with myself, right, my promise to myself is 10 minutes. 10 minutes at least.